So then I looks over and says to him, "Why am I the only one popping my pussy?"
Why do you have to yell? So loud. Violent.
Gotcha, hub.
Yeah, hub. Like Pornhub? The audio even on?
Yeah.
Are we even here?
Nope, we are not. But we are on air. Whoa, it just came into existence.
Yeah. Whose existence? Where's he from?
Yours. That's fucked up, dude. I didn't even see it coming. And neither did he.
That's right.
Ghost loads. So my brother got clipped, right?
Oh, yeah? Him too? He
Yeah.
runs in the family, huh? And now there's no more family to run.
What are you talking about? There's plenty of this.
Not anymore.
I got two of them.
That's what he's not doing now.
Cocked, locked, and ready to rock. So no, my brother, he got the snip. And he's asking me questions before it happened. I go, yeah, it's great. Just don't do it.
It's great. Just don't do it.
Right after. Just don't have sex right after.
It's fantastic, everybody. So don't do it.
It's like, just don't have sex immediately after it's done. You ain't going in there shooting blanks just yet. You got to go home and clear out a few rounds. He's like, oh, I'll have like, they said you got to do it like 2-3 times before. I'll have it done in the first hour. I'm like, you're almost up to my numbers.
You will.
You're almost up to my numbers. No, but
it's a weird race those two have. They're brothers.
I go, after that though, oh yeah, you could shoot all you want, not worry about it. He goes, I'm gonna ghost load the fuck out of that bitch. His own wife. I had never heard it referred to as ghost loading.
No, it was right on this show you talked about it before.
Oh, I talked about my brother doing that?
No, not your brother. It was somebody else. Somebody else that you heard it from that you're like, I'm going to steal that. I think it might have been the show Ty was on. Either Ty or Rich, one of them. But I remember verbatim. I have to go back at them. I remember.
Good luck. Have fun with that.
Ghost loading it.
We should. Oh, yeah. No, because that's the same story. It's the same story.
I thought it was someone that you worked with.
Huh?
I thought it was someone you worked with.
No, I was telling somebody.
A few months ago?
No, I was telling somebody that I work with about my brother ghost loading.
Oh, all right. A few months ago?
Yeah.
That was a while ago?
Except I think, whoops, sorry, kid. I just ratted my brother out. Because in that story.
That's how you started this whole segment.
Well, no, because now it's all coming back to me. I remember
It's all coming back to me.
This is going to be a fun episode, folks. No, I remember, though, because I in that episode, I was very... Like, oh, this person I know. Yeah. Here we go. I just ratted
2 months later. Oh, my brother.
It passed the 60 days. Statute of limitations. It's legal to fuck that joke now.
Oh, jeez. So, breaking news, buddy.
Yeah.
Breaking news twice. 2 days in a row.
Roe v. Wade.
Yeah. As of this morning, Roe v. Wade's no longer.
So Mrs. Carmen had it right all along.
You
remember what episode I'm talking about, too? She sleeps with Bill Clinton. Okay, Mrs. Carmen, I'll approve 90-month term abortions. Fucking Carmen's like 8.
There was a time frame. And it ran out.
Is it too late to have an abortion? How old's the fetus? Yeah, I think she's in 96 months. He goes, that's 8. No, Mrs. Carmen, you cannot abort your 8-year-old son. Oh, she had it right all along.
No, but that's in some blue states they're talking about. I think we've talked about that. They're talking about post-delivery abortions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a month after the fact.
I hate to say it like this.
I thought that was murder, but what the fuck do I know?
You know my opinion. We've both
we've had a few episodes where we've gone down there.
Yeah.
But Roe v. Wade.
I mean, when you stop
it's abortion's not illegal. First off,
Here's one for you.
It's not illegal. All they did was correct something that the Supreme Court, a ruling the Supreme Court made decades ago that really shouldn't have been in there.
I mean, how does one become an abortion doctor? Just wake one morning saying, I really want to work with kids, and I want to meet single ladies.
Well, I thought
Chicks down to fuck.
I thought about being one of those people that would put people on death row, but I also want to be a school teacher. I don't really know what to do.
I really want to work with kids, but I also really want to meet girls that are down to fuck. You know what a 13-year-old and an unborn fetus have in common?
Oh, here we go.
They're both thinking, oh, fuck, my mom's going to kill me. And that's our band. It was nice knowing you folks.
Just got the band out, and now we're right back into it. Thanks.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. I got to be good for something on this show.
Yeah, they overturned it on this morning, I guess.
It was this
Which
morning.
there was rumblings this week. There's like the last 2 or 3 weeks, they've talked about, oh man, this Friday or this coming Monday, it might be it. They might drop, and then nothing happened. And then, oh, maybe Wednesday or Thursday something happened, and then nothing happened. And there was rumblings about it happening today, as of this recording. But by then, you're like, all right, probably not. What I find interesting, though, is dropping it on a Friday, especially now, like throughout, especially in this area, school's out now. And what is going to happen? You know what's going to happen now that the Supreme Court said Roe v. Wade's no more.
Well, there's already, all jokes aside, I was going to say there's going to be a lot of high schoolers going to clinics now. Hey, good for them. Have fun. You want use both control, be my guest. But there's already, like, I've seen a few news articles of people starting petitions, people starting, like, organizations, like, rally, or they're starting, like, the websites have gone up to, like, orchestrate protests and rallies and riots.
White House.
Riots.
Yeah, White House already has riot squads deployed around them.
Yeah.
And they're doing this on a Friday, so they had the entire weekend. So if they're going to protest, mostly peacefully, they have the whole weekend to do it.
Is it just
like
me? Or the SCOTUS? Every time I see that, I always think
Scrotum. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably out of the 350 or 320 million people in the United States, we're probably the only two.
Scrotum.
No,
you guys grow the fuck up.
There's probably about 100 million other people who be like, just went collectively, oh, okay.
You got you guys. We got you. We're looking out for you.
You're not alone.
No, you're not. You're not alone.
I just got really good at keeping a straight face every time I hear it. I spent hours in the bathroom staring at myself. SCOTUS. SCOTUS.
Late.
Oh,
SCOTUS.
Scrotum. But they drop it on a Friday, so they have all this time now. And like I said, they have colleges are out, schools are out. Mm-hmm. So now, and what are most of these people that are on board with all of these protests, these extreme protests and whatnot? They're mostly kids, liberal kids, from the college system. Well, there's no joking. That's what it is. I mean, how often, other than January 6th, there's like the one time.
What happened on January 6th?
If there's one thing that January 6th has taught us, is that Republicans and conservatives do not know how to fucking riot. Because they barely did anything and they all got in trouble.
I know.
Whereas Antifa and BLM and everyone else that riot, they get to break and burn shit down and they're like, well...
Take to the streets. Punch them in the face.
There's some they're really bad at. The right's horrible at fucking rioting. Protests, rioting, they're just bad at it. All I can
think of is Dave Chappelle. Ha! I got you, bitch. We were doing it wrong
the whole time. Yeah, so that broke this morning.
Yep.
Which I don't really think it breaking, or the news breaking of what they were going to do is really a surprise. But it is kind of surprising that they... you know what? No, it's not. It's not surprising they would wait till the summer months hit, till an opportunity right before the holiday when everyone can go. You know, it's right before MAGA month, too. They're looking to destroy MAGA month, so we can't just grill every day and with American flags.
You know what it is? Now, they waited till the last day of school to drop it like it's hot because you got all the fucking left Democrats, fucking retarded people that will...
I don't think you can say that anymore.
Sorry. Developmentally disabled people.
I don't think you can even say that anymore.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, all right. I thought they were handy-capable. Isn't that what George Carlin said? They're handy-capable.
George Carlin also taught me that snapper used to be called pussy.
Yeah.
So when you're riding a snapper...
Right?
What's that?
So was he right?
I don't know.
Whatever. Anyway. So...
Well, I look at it this way. If he's right, I shouldn't have gotten that ticket for banging that girl in my yard. I was riding the snapper in my front yard. But when
that wasn't your yard. And she didn't even know.
She didn't even exist.
She had a fizzy drink.
They walked out of their front door and saw me masturbating in the yard crying.
Do you like soda pop? That's water.
I should have mentioned there really was no one else there. I drank the drink myself. Oh, I'm so drugged.
I hope no one takes advantage of me.
Nobody? No, but so you got all these people now, and I'm sorry, especially with the Roe v. Wade, you watch how many fucking, and they're gonna use the youth. That's what I'm getting at. They're gonna try to push the youth to the front line. The 13-year-old, 14-year-old girls that are going there with their purple-haired moms.
See Nancy Pelosi when she was speaking about it. There's a video. She's like, "It's a sad day in America. I can't even say good morning because it's not."
It's what?
Never mind all the other bullshit we got going on. That's really going to affect everybody. That's coming. I'm going to sound like fucking a prepper or Alex Jones or something. The more I talk to truck drivers and everything, though, but
now that Roe v. Wade was overturned, there's going to be a lot more coming than that.
That's true. No, actually, that's not true, depending on the state.
Well, yeah, I know. Hold on, we'll dive into that in 1 second. I did hear something about our illustrious New York governor that we have, though.
In regards to Roe v. Wade?
Yeah. She wants nothing changed with New York State's
I knew that was going to happen. Because
she finally did something right. Leave it alone.
Well...
She doesn't want anything to change. You want to get an abortion at 13, 18, 27, 47 and get it done just because you don't want the baby? In New York State, you can do that.
Yeah.
Have fun. She doesn't want that to change. So it's good. She finally did something fucking right.
Well, that all depends who you are. Because you're going to ask conservatives out there, they're going to argue that hard. But New York is notoriously a blue state.
My opinion.
Like a drink. He's blue!
I'm trying to get into the spirit of it.
I gotcha. See, so, he's drinking blue and thinking blue.
I'm trying.
That should be your slogan. You should wear a shirt now. Drinking blue and thinking blue. No, but
and then there's a picture on the back of me masturbating with blue cheeks crying.
Like anime tears.
Will you be my waifu? Fuck yeah.
There's only a group of people that's going to know. But anyway.
Oh, God. Filthy Frank motherfuckers. Look them up.
The fuck were we just yeah. New York is notoriously a blue state. Like California. They're not going to change anything. Texas is more purple now because everyone left California. Want to be fuck this shithole.
Oh, speaking of leaving California.
Oklahoma, it's illegal. Straight up.
Yep.
I don't even... think they have a time frame, or is it after 6 weeks it's illegal?
I don't know about the time frame, but I do know. I'm pretty sure Oklahoma is one of the few states I read about
It's the first one.
No, there's a few states that are like on board with actually trying to ban it altogether.
Yeah,
and make it so that if you go out of state to get the procedure done and then come back, you can be charged with an offense.
I did hear that too.
That's fucking insanity.
Yeah, I did hear
Whatever happened to HIPAA?
Well, HIPAA is... I guess technically, yeah, that would be a HIPAA violation. Well, Yeah, I guess that would be a HIPAA violation. I really have no argument for that. Try to find one.
What it comes down to is like when you apply for a job, they say, "Do you have any do you have any conditions that we need to be made aware of?"
Right.
If you, because of course the FAIR Act or whatever it's called, the Equal Employment Act, I think is what it's called. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But basically, it's where, depending on the job requirements, they cannot discriminate against race, sex, developmental, or mental levels. They cannot choose to hire you or not hire you based solely on what they have in front of them.
Right.
Like, you don't want, okay, put it to you this way. You don't want a quadra amputee being a lifeguard.
Why not? I understand what you're saying.
He's the he's the thing that David Hasselhoff used to run down the beach carrying. I'll be ready. I'll be ready. I don't remember the songs of Baywatch.
I'll be there.
I'll be there. Okay.
Yeah. So at the same time you're talking, I got a bunch of stuff breaking.
No, that's good. Break it all over me.
I could, if I get to it, I get to it. Why has everything got to fucking happen? Like, literally, this whole week has been, well, up until Wednesday night-ish, really slow news week. So I had some things that was really going to be stretched out into, like, well, I could maybe use this to, like, look at that conspiracy theorist pyramid. It's like, there's a couple things I want to kind of elaborate on there. I was like, perfect. A perfect week for it.
Yeah, it has been.
And then Thursday hit. And we'll get to that next.
And it's like the world just decided to punch us in our cockholes.
Actually, well, Thursday hit twice. It was Wednesday night, and then Thursday morning I woke up, and there was a second thing. And then today, I find out that Roe v. Wade, I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, what happened to
a metaphorical punch in our cock holster?
So, yesterday, that was today, SCOTUS overturning Roe v. Wade.
Thank you.
Yesterday, New York eased up on its conceal and carry permit.
Yes. Now, go ahead. Sorry.
I did some reading. Like yesterday, I had you and a few other people on TikTok and Facebook all message me like within 20 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. Like, oh, did you hear?
Oh, God.
Like, oh, it's in my eyes. That's weird.
Now I know why they wear glasses.
That's why I have them right here. That's why I have those.
You fucker.
Without the lenses.
Those are my glasses.
I'm protecting myself. There's not even lenses in them. Yesterday.
You be quiet.
Yeah, so New York eases up on its conceal and carry permit, or at least how they're doing it. So this is from NPR.org. Supreme Court strikes down New York law that restricts concealed carry of guns. In a landmark decision, the U.S. Supreme Court's conservative supermajority on Thursday declared for the first time that there is a constitutional right to carry a handgun in public for self-defense. By a vote of 6-3, the court struck down a century-old gun law in New York that limited licenses to carry a gun outside the home of people carrying them for sports like hunting or shooting, and those with special need, like messengers carrying cash. Basically, what that means right there is, like, because like I was messaging you on Facebook and everything. I was like, all right, so does this mean it's just constitutional carry, which I didn't think it was, which it's not. All it does is basically, like I told John in the chat, it just, here's or whatever it was, here's a piece of paper, now you can do this. What it means is, before in New York, you had to give a reason. Why do you want a license to carry?
Yeah.
Well, pistol permit in general, not a concealed carry, just a straight pistol permit. And things like sporting, self-defense, recreational use, hunting, whatever. And you write down whatever it was, and I think for self-defense, you actually had to give a reason.
Yeah.
Same thing with conceal and carry. It's the same thing. You have to say, why do you need it? Well, for conceal and carry, or for either of them, you put down why you need it, and they could legally, at the time, say, not good enough. We're not going to give it to you. Luckily, the judge for this county is pretty lenient with them. So there's here you go.
And you get a pistol permit, and you get a pistol permit, and we all get pistol permits.
Now it's sort of like that. So now the
Of course, real quick, that doesn't mean anybody can just walk in and say, "Hey, I want that pistol." Okay, here's your pistol permit. No, you still got to go through a NICS check.
Yep.
You still got to go through fingerprint. You still got to go through registration.
Yep.
You got to go through the whole process.
Classes.
Yes.
Yep. You still have to do all that. It's just now. But again, like you said before, you were talking about the shotguns and rifles, and they're trying to pass those permits.
Yeah,
it's not saying you can't get it. It's just a process of getting it in New York. Like this isn't. I think it's. I don't know. Arizona has constitutional carry, but I don't.
Texas does.
Texas does too.
Texas
or Arizona. Oh, they have constitutional carry, but Arizona has open carry. That
Texas
I know.
Does too.
Does Texas? I didn't think they had open carry. I knew they had constitutional, but. Arizona, I know for sure, has open carry, but those are ones where you don't even need a permit.
Nope.
You don't need. There's no paperwork. It's like if you went up and got a 30-30 or something, just get it.
A real quick side note too, in regards to this, where that also changes good old New York. So when you wanted to go to New York City, you could not carry your pistol permit. You could not carry your pistol with you.
Right.
Even conceal and carry.
That was my question.
You actually then, not too long ago, they changed it to where you actually needed to get a permit, a special permit.
For the city.
For the city. Now, with this, within the details of it, if you look into it, they talk about lifting that entirely.
Right.
Now, county to county, they have to get on board with it. It's a New York State thing. But that's where the process takes time, and that's where they're still going to get you.
All right.
I can't go down to the city with my pistol, conceal, and carry right now. Even if this thing is official and it's done.
No, because the city's its own,
it still has to go through the due process of changing it all.
Right.
Which they can still nail you. Now, down the road, I walk in there today. Hey, no conceal and carry. Give me that. Here's your ticket, $10,000.
Ticket? No. You'd be, if you're in New York City, you'd be in jail.
Whatever. What I'm saying is, eventually it's going to be, hey, sorry about that. No harm, no foul. Have a good day.
Yeah.
I just lost the last 10 years of my life.
Yeah.
You've been a good sport about it.
We didn't think that was really going to change. You want a cracker?
But yeah, which I'll be following this one quite intensely.
It took 7 years for this to actually get across, to pass. So then the question is, like, they passed it, but now, like, how long is it going to be? Is it instant?
I don't know. That I don't know.
I wish I'd held off on getting my pistol permit so I could actually see.
I don't think it's going to...
Actually, you'll get my unrestricted.
You get your... Well, not unrestricted. It's just no restrictions. I know it was the same thing, but if you go in there and say unrestricted, they're going to look at you like you got 8 heads. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, I don't think it's going to change the process in the aspect of time.
Right.
I think you're still going to have to wait your 6 to 8 weeks, et cetera, go through all the steps. The only thing that's going to change really now is, okay, I got my pistol permit back in 2012. I was encouraged not to put the reason why I wanted my pistol permit
Second Amendment.
was for the Second Amendment.
Yeah. Anything that even alludes, I mean, this is back in 2012, so anything that even alludes to shooting somebody, they're going to be like, that's what, in mine, I put hiking, sport, hunting.
No, hold on. I actually did put hunting, sports, travel,
right,
and self-defense. Right. I really put and...
I did put self-defense, too.
I put and self-defense. I was encouraged not to put the Second Amendment because back in 2012, here in the great state of New York, in our fabulous county that we live in, if you put Second Amendment, you automatically got, whether you applied for no restrictions or anything, you only got your pistol permit. Not conceal and carry.
Right.
You got your pistol permit, but it had to stay in your home. with restrictions.
Right.
Hunting, target practice, whatever.
No, you could take it from A to B.
And that's it.
And then back, yeah.
And here's the best part. I got my pistol permit with no restrictions right out the gate.
Right.
Never had an issue. I sat down in front of the judge. He's like, why do you want it? What I said there. He goes, okay.
I don't remember my answers. Read it.
Can I look at your sheet? No.
That's yours, stupid.
You wrote the answers.
I cheated.
Can I get an open book?
I didn't study for this.
But I don't think it's going to change the process at all. In fact, with doing it the way, if the New York City aspect of it is true, and the part where the only thing that's really going to change is the fact that when they put reasons for getting your pistol permit, personal. You don't have to put a reason.
Well, they might not even have reasons.
They might take that section out.
Like I said, you'll still have paperwork that they'll have to have on file, but
this is where they're going to catch you. Oh, that pistol safety class you needed? Well, now it's a 20-hour course.
That's possible, yeah.
And
what is it now? 4 hours, 6 hours?
Something like that.
8
4 to
hours?
6. I don't remember.
I can't remember.
But now, but then watch, it'll go from, your fingerprinting for your pistol permit was $115. Now it's $300.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the process and paperwork. In total, to get my pistol permit, I spent, disregarding the pistol itself, because you had to have a deposit. But if you take that away, the whole process cost me $150.
I think that minus the gun itself, it was like 103 for the fingerprints.
Yep.
I think the class was
I didn't have to take a class. I was before that.
25 or something, or 30 maybe, or
Yep.
40. No, I think it was 45. It was something like that.
The only class
Between 20 and 50.
The only class I had to take, literally the only class I had to take, was I forgot what it was called. But we went into a classroom for 3 hours, and he walked us through how to fill out the paperwork. That's it.
Oh, that one too. Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. Yeah, that was the class that just tells you how to fill out the paperwork.
That was $25.
That was 25.
And then the processing paperwork.
Yeah.
You had to have a money order. I walked in, and it told me you need to have a money order and hand them your paperwork and the money order for $10.
Yeah, that's right.
To process your paperwork.
So I think it was
$150 for me.
I think it was $200 then for me.
Yeah.
Because I think the other class, the gun safety or whatever it was, the safety course was like 50-ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there, give or take.
But now watch. The processing paperwork, that just went up $100. Now it's $100, not $10.
I can't believe I fucking dropped like $850 my first. Like, just look at,
dude.
get what you want, even if you like the first gun. Get exactly what you want. I did.
Do your homework.
Yeah, do your homework too.
Take some pistols. Not go to a gun store. Ask them, hey, look, I don't have my pistol permit, but I am inquiring about getting it.
Yeah.
I want to know what feels right. What do you recommend? I'm talking revolvers.
They'll let you stand there. I think I was up there for like an hour and a half, and I probably had like 24, like without exaggeration, probably 24 pistols. And I was just like feeling the weight of them, like how they sat in my hand.
So
it was straight up like, be honest with, like I was like, I don't know anything about pistols. I just want it because that's why I like started to just get diehard into guns, firearms in general.
Yeah,
I was like, I want to know, and they're like, all right, here you go. And
the one day, I went up the road.
Lock stock?
Yeah.
All right.
But it was still open. He had all the guns, all the ammo, et cetera, et cetera. I went up one morning.
It's a shame he's not there anymore.
Well, he...
Sort of.
Yeah. This is when I worked in the warehouse. So I had like the 3 days or the 4 days off.
Right.
I went up, I think it was a weekday morning. I went up as soon as he opened, bought a couple boxes. There was someone in there, literally walked in right behind me. Hey, I'm considering getting my pistol permit. Could you show me some pistols?
Did he talk like that?
I don't know. I don't remember. I left, went with a friend, target practicing. We were probably shooting for a good 2 hours. I went back, got another box of ammo. Person's still there, trying another pistol. Left, emptied that, maybe an hour. Went back to get the box because I always try to keep a box on reserve. Like, oh, I used it.
I don't. I am dry on one of my guns. The other two I got ammo for, but one of them is dry.
Yeah.
We got to make a run.
Yeah, we gotta make a run.
Actually, you want to do that tomorrow?
Yeah, sure. What
All
time?
Making plans for ammo buying.
I gotta go. I got auto work I gotta do earlier, like 10, 11-ish.
Anytime.
All right. We'll have to... I want to go to Bear.
Whatever. We'll figure it out.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
We'll figure it out.
I don't know. Anyway, going all the way back.
Yeah, sorry. We kind of digressed.
Sort of. It was still on guns about it. But anyway, so it says the court's decision is the most sweeping to date and will shake up gun regulations across the country, making it far more difficult to defend rules that limit guns in public places. The whole thing before, with these, the ability for judges or anybody saying, we're not going to give you a pistol permit because of you don't like the answers. Basically, you gave us on why are you getting it. It was a violation of the Second Amendment, which is be people on the left that are arguing that. That's, yeah. We've heard it over and over. But it's also a violation of the 14th Amendment. So, and I think if you read it, it's pretty clear cut. The violation of the...
Trying to remember the 14th Amendment.
It's Article 1, moreover. Oh, look at that. Right to it.
That wasn't planned.
So Section 1, all persons born or neutralized in the United States and the subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of the citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws, including the Constitution of the United States, which would be a violation of the Second Amendment. So, just by default, it's a violation of the Second and 14th Amendment. It's almost like the people that wrote this document knew what they were doing back then.
I think it's funny how when you hear something like that, you think back to Biden. Well, the Constitution doesn't guarantee. There's amendments in there that guarantee you can't say that.
When I was clipping the last episode, I was listening to us talk about that, and it still blows my fucking mind that he says, "Well, the amendments are your rights in the amendments aren't absolute." Like, the fuck are you talking about? What fucking country are you in?
Ukraine?
Russia. New York State cited mass shooting last month. Governor Hochul seethed with anger moments after the opinion was announced. Quote, "This decision isn't just reckless, it's reprehensible," she said. Our state has our governors. Our states and our governors have moral responsibility to do what we can because of what is going on. The insanity of the gun culture that has now possessed everyone all the way up to even the Supreme Court.
Fucking losers.
At the same time, I guess sort of the same time, the time frame of the whole week, that passed for New York State. Senate passes first major federal gun safety legislation in decades. So it's almost like this weird tug of war that's going on between the two sides. This is from CNN. The Senate on Thursday night passed a bipartisan bill to address gun violence that amounts to the first major federal gun safety legislation in decades. The final vote was 65-33 with 15 Republicans joining Democrats in support of the measure, marking a significant bipartisan breakthrough on one of the most contentious policy issues in the country. The bill will next go to the House for a vote before it can be sent to President Joe Biden to sign into law. The Bipartisan Gun Deal includes millions of dollars for mental health, school safety, crisis intervention programs, and incentives for states to include juvenile records in the National Instant Crime Background Check System, which most of that fucking is in place already. They're just going to pretty much amp it up. One thing, it also makes significant changes to the process when someone ages 18 to 21 goes to buy a firearm and closes the so-called boyfriend loophole, a victory for Democrats who have long fought for that. This bill also basically, there's a lot of talk of the stop and frisk laws that Democrats were for years talking about how stop and frisk laws were blatantly racist, because most of the time that happened in, well, I guess statistically racist too. Most of the time it happened in urban cities, and they would target the black community for stop and frisk. But now with red flag laws, now exactly what they're doing is it's stop and frisk, but I guess on a national level.
But now it's okay.
Well, we talked about the red flag laws before. Well, that's where your neighbor can go like, he's an asshole. I mean, not verbatim, but any reason they can deem reasonable, I guess, for a court to issue a search and seize, to come into your house and take your guns. Well, we think he's got a mental issue or something. New York already has this. Like, New York's already, that I know for a fact. But now it's going to be, nationwide.
Oh God. Fucking really? Come on, melt. Fucker.
So most of this I kind of saw. This I saw coming, only because a lot of it is focusing on mental health. So, especially after the Uvalde situation, and that was a big one. It's like, well, we got to focus on mental health. It says the bill includes $750 million to help states implement the run crisis intervention programs. The money can be used to implement and manage red flag programs, which can temporarily prevent individuals in crisis from accessing firearms through a court order, and for other crisis intervention programs like mental health courts, drug courts, veterans courts. Yep. Closes a year-old loophole in domestic violence laws. So if it'll stop you if you have any kind of if there's any kind of domestic violence, or if you've been charged with any kind of domestic violence. I mean, not your typical like guy beats up a woman or woman beats up a guy, but also like say you're in a heated altercation with your significant other and they just push you or you just push them. It's technically domestic violence. And now you lose your rights or get your guns taken away. So, on one end, you have the ease of guns being able to go out and get a sidearm. But at the same time, on the other end, it's like, well, we're also taking, I don't want to say taking rights away, but being able to tighten grip on what you can actually do or not do.
Yeah, and the minute you cross that line, whoop, now they take everything you got.
Right.
And they don't have to give a reason.
Right.
Give it back.
Right. High divided America. More prone to call out your neighbor who has guns, which you talked about that. Both sides. It does seem like both sides right now are warring back and forth, like I just said.
Oh, yeah.
And just to add fuel to that fire, there's a update for the Uvalde police and that whole spiel and what happened inside the school. This one I saw on, it wasn't Charlie Kirk, I think it was Matt Walsh. It says, the officers in the hallway of Robb Elementary School wanted to get inside the classrooms 111 and 112 immediately. One officer's daughter was inside. Another officer had gotten a call from his wife, a teacher, who told him she was bleeding to death. Two closed doors and a wall stood between them and an 18-year-old with an AR-15 who had opened fire on children and teachers inside and connected classrooms. A Halligan bar, which is actually a forcible entry tool used by firefighters to get through locked doors, was available. Ballistic shields were arriving on scene, so was plenty of firepower, including at least 2 rifles. Some officers were itching to move. One such officer, a special agent at the Texas Department of Public Safety, had arrived around 20 minutes after the shooting started. He immediately asks, "Are there still kids in the classroom?" Quote, "If there is, then they just need to go in," the agent said. Another officer answered, "It is unknown at this time." The agent shot back, "Y'all don't know if there's kids in there," he added. "If there's kids in there, we need to go in there. Whoever is in charge will determine that," came the reply. The inaction appeared too much for the special agent. He noted that there are still children in the classroom within the school who needed to be evacuated. "Well, there's kids over here," he said, "so I'm getting kids out." The exchange happened early in the excruciating 77 minutes on May 24th that started with the shooter, who had just shot his grandmother in the face and walked through the unlocked doors of Robb Elementary. I heard that they're actually going to tear the school down.
Why? It's very tragic. It's very tragic that something like that happened, but they're not shutting down the subway where that black guy shot a bunch of white people.
What about that one? Was it a homeless guy or someone that pushed that woman onto the tracks?
They didn't shut that train station down, and if that's the case, they should shut down the street where that Dodge Challenger ran over all those people.
Oh, that was over the holidays?
Yeah. You know, it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate that it happened. But tearing something down because of it, like that's almost like
destroying evidence.
Not so much destroying evidence. That'd be like tearing down the Washington Monument or the Lincoln Memorial,
which they're doing. There's groups of people like wanting a lot of these monuments with Washington.
All right, how about the Vietnam Wall? Yeah, that's like tearing something like that down.
Right.
If you lined 100 people, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Israeli, Russian, Japanese, whatever, in front of that wall and then just went down and mowed them down for fun, because of how tragic it is that happened, you should tear that wall down.
Right.
It's very unfortunate that it happened. But tearing something down like that, all those kids that have those memories of the good stuff and their friends that they will never get to walk those halls again with, you know, tearing that down is like wiping a piece of their existence away.
Yeah, and why are they going to tear this one down and not any of the other ones? Not Parkland, not Sandy Hook, not Columbine, not whichever ones.
Yep.
There's a lot of scrutiny on how the police handled the situation, I guess, for lack of a better term. But the more stuff that comes out, it seems like it was a top-down decision. Like, I mean, these officers were outside there. Some probably blue blood or new, and taking orders. And according to this, they were taking orders, and Superior said, "We don't know what's going on. Hold." But you ask anybody else, and they were detaining parents. One was tased.
Yep.
Was trying to get in there. And there's other police officers, like, what's going on in there? Clearly not getting straight answers. And then wherever they could go, well, there's kids over here, this one said. So he goes to one of the other classrooms to rescue kids out of it. With the last three things we just talked about, and as I was reading this earlier, we have easing of gun rights on one hand, and then we have more strict
bylaws.
You could
refer to them as guidelines.
Right. For gun ownership, or the ease of accessing a firearm, at least law-abiding citizens anyway, going about getting them. Because, you know, all the criminals, believe it or not, probably aren't going to turn their guns in. especially right after this shooting. It's funny how like this happens, and then the Buffalo one happens, and then now they're deciding to make all these moves with guns. Like they're trying to keep firearms in the public eye. Why?
Don't we have elections coming up?
We do. Not that would have anything to do with it. That's probably their strongest running point. That's probably the Democrats' strongest running point right now is talking about gun control, especially with everything as fresh in everybody's mind as these two major shootings within I think it was a week of each other.
Yeah.
And
fear-mongering
and I guess it's just talking about political points that are just creating talking points for people who hear a little bit, formulate this whole opinion without knowing the entire thing.
Yeah.
And then using that as like, this is what we're going to go for, so vote for us. Basically what they did 2 years ago with the whole presidential election.
Yep.
Orange man bad. He's racist.
And what better to sit there and get your platform heard than to, I hate to say it like this, but pull on the strings, the heartstrings that are going to invoke the most reaction. Because then if all you have to do is sit there and say, do you remember the episode of Family Guy where Lois Griffin ran against Mayor West?
Yeah, we talked about that in the last show.
9/11. Yeah. Same concept. That's really what it's coming down to. This is our key issue. Pay attention to how sad things are and how we want to do so much to make these things not happen. But while this is going on, they got a whole slew of other shit going on in the background. And if they can get everybody to sit there and for one instance go, you know what? I do agree this needs to be changed. Mm-hmm. Now they've got mission accomplished because now you are starting to see things their way. They want left, right, centrist, neutral, liberal, whatever the hell you are. A lot of vote is swayed by finding a common factor. You know, Trump did it with
something that speaks to everybody.
Yes, equally, Trump did it with the whole "Make America Great Again." Look at all the problems we have. Let's fix them. He didn't say how he was going to fix them. He didn't guarantee they were going to be fixed. All he did was literally put on a plate in front of you all the problems of what was going on at the day. Fast forward 4 years. Now we got Biden versus Trump. All Biden did was literally look at the world, look at the country and go, there's a lot of people that hate Trump just because they think he's foul enough. Okay, my opponent is just blind to the issues. You know, notice that all the stuff that you guys were talking about for how long about him doing, and think about that. That's all he had to say.
Do you think all right, there's supposedly a red wave coming. Like in November. Like there's like a whole bunch of seats in the Senate and the House are gonna go to the Republicans. And right now, there seems to be more and more Republicans coming out and talking, we need to change this, we need to do this, and like, this is crazy what they're doing. They're stretching too far left. They're going too extremes with their policies. Let's say the Republicans win a whole bunch of seats in the House. Let's say a bunch of Republican governors get in, or maybe even flip some states, or a state or two, or whatever.
Yeah.
You think anything's going to change?
No.
Neither do I. And
that's where
the
like,
problem.
I hope people realize we do rag on the left
a lot because it's fun. It's funny because just watching watching the extreme left fan base or whatever you want to call them. You guys just make it way too easy, way too fucking easy.
You guys are basically, when you walk into the stall with 4 urinals and 4 dudes are about to walk up to the urinal to take a piss, you guys are the people that literally the guy goes, just pants and underwear around the ankles. A, B.
I was going to say turn around and sit on it, but either way.
You're the one that we go, really? Come on, man.
You do make it way too easy. And plus, some of your points are logical. The things you argue, like, I'll admit that they're logical. Other ones are so fucking insane that it completely whitewashes anything logical that you have to say. So then everybody that's I was going to say a straight, but you can't even say that now, like level-headed, will look at that, like some of your points, and be like, you're fucking stupid. But going back, if the problem with the Republicans is when they take office, they don't do fucking shit. And here's the thing that Democrats do that I give credit to. Even if their fucking points are bass-ackwards and really bad ideas, they fight for them. Like, they keep hammering that issue. Whether they're in office or not, they'll hammer an issue and go and go and go and go. But the Republicans are like, whoa. All right.
You're on 3rd Street.
They're getting a little bitchy. Give them a little bit of this. That'll shut them up. The problem with that approach is now we have the right and the left. Okay? So the left is trying to push its way further left, and the right is like, hold on. All right, you'll get a little bit of this. And then they go a little bit further. All right, fine. Give them a little bit of this. And then they go a little bit further. All right, fine. Give them a little more of this. Now, what the problem is now the fucking right is in the center, and the left out of their fucking mind. Instead of the right, once in a while, maybe should go, fuck you, give us like a little bit of what we want. Like, I don't know, constitutional carry. Like something that is in the Constitution. Something that was written down for 250 plus fucking years.
I gotta agree with you in that aspect.
It just that's all they do. It's like you have a whiny kid and the parents just going, fine, take a fucking toy. No more than $5 though. Shut the fuck up. But that's what
Trump was.
That's what the whole scenario is.
Fuck up.
Give him a little bit, and then give him a little bit, and then give him a little bit, but it doesn't stop. So that's why when Republicans get in office, everyone complains, except the same kind of people, just in the opposite sense. They can do no wrong. The same fucking thing happens. Nothing fucking changes. They might talk about something. We'll vote to something with oil, I guess. They'll drop oil prices, which we desperately need right now.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it's not the oil prices. It's just fucking gas. They're making record profits again. The oil industry, but that's a whole other issue. But nothing changes when the right takes office. So like everyone's screaming, so there's a red wave coming. I mean, you hear it on you hear it everywhere. There's like, here comes the red wave. I hate to break it to you guys, but unless Trump gets back in, because the guy really was a fucking bull in a china shop. Unless Trump gets back in.
Mythbusters
zero's gonna fucking change.
Mythbusters disproved that.
See, that ain't even gonna happen then.
Fucking he that bull ran to that china shop and was like, I don't know, it's too expensive for me to afford. Bye. Didn't break a single thing.
What?
No, but you're right. And that's oh man.
And now to I really think, as far as Republicans go, like for anyone who's like Republican, I think between the two main players right now is going to be Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. Obviously, I think DeSantis is the better option, but I kind of want to see what happens if Trump gets back in, because if he gets back in, for everybody that was like fucking like basically in his eyes, it would be in his eyes, betrayed him, they're getting fucking fired. You're gone, and you're gone. You're fired. You fired.
But Mr. Trump,
you fired.
I love. You suck at it. You fired.
Yeah. So I
didn't say stop.
It would be entertaining to watch. To say the least.
Let him finish. Mr. President, stop sucking the ambassador's dick.
It would be peace in Israel. It would be entertaining to watch.
No,
but maybe I'm wrong, and I hope I am. But just judging by, as long as I've paid attention to politics since the early mid-2000s.
I was just saying,
like nothing.
For me, it was during the Clinton era.
nothing's. I mean, when we were kids, we heard about it, but I didn't fucking know like policy. I didn't know what like Democrats really stood for, Republicans. Like it was fucking 6th, 7th grade. Like I was interested in drawing comic book characters.
Well, no, you're gonna laugh at this.
I know about like getting winky whacked and everything. Bill Clinton. But as far as that's when
Bill Clinton got his winky whacked, or you were talking about winky whacking and then heard about Bill Clinton.
Could have been either. The summer camp was fun, but
I thought you could remember most of that.
I don't even remember what I was talking about now. I got on a good rant.
Democrats, Republicans. No.
And let me tell you something else about Democrats.
I was actually summer camp was the last thing we said.
Crystal Lake. My hat's over there. Yeah, see, you don't remember anyway. Yeah.
Oh, no. I remember. Yeah, because I remember learning about, like, the whole China relations going on. I remember hearing about that. Then we rolled into the Bush era. Bush and Gore.
That's where I really started paying attention. It was Bush and Gore. Like, I started paying attention a little bit. And then we got into Bush and John Kerry. And that's when I was like...
Dick Cheney.
And, yeah. But that's where... The whole spiel back then was Republicans are trying to censor a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Well, think of the children. And Democrats are like, no. So back then, I voted Democrat. I was like, fuck your censorship bullshit. And now here we are, years later, and we seem to be on the other end of the spectrum. It's weird how that works.
See, but that's the best part about being a God-fearing... red-blooded, blue-collar American. You can vote Democrat one day, blow a tranny the next, and end up Republican by the end of the week.
That's why I don't. I'm registered conservative.
You don't want to blow a tranny?
I probably have, but...
I mean, I can replace the transmission, no problem.
Yeah. I'm registered conservative, but I've even because once you register, they'll constantly come to your house and be like, "Oh, we got a candidate coming up during." Like I told them, it's like, "Listen, I'm registered conservative, but I will vote against you if there's something like a libertarian comes out and be like, "Oh, I like this." And that's another fucking problem is most people will only vote Democrat or Republican because, well, that's probably who's going to win. That is a terrible fucking attitude. If you're like, well, probably they're libertarian or conservative or independent or fucking Whig party or anything. They're probably not going to win, so I'm not going to bother voting for them. If all of those people who thought that voted for them anyway, you'd probably see a major shift away from both Republican and Democrat.
What do you think would happen if we had a liberal president?
Bernie Sanders. Probably the closest in my lifetime anyway that we've come to.
First State of the Union.
Until he sold out.
First State of the Union you'd ever see a person with rainbow-colored hair giving the speech.
Oh, you're talking about like a libtard kind of thing. No, I'm talking about classic libertarian.
No, I know.
No, you're talking about extreme left. Fuck me. I don't know, look at Canada.
Listen, Uncle Trudeau is trying.
The blackface guy. He has. He's been dressed in blackface before.
I remember.
Yeah, you were there.
No, I just remember reading about it.
You ever see the picture?
No.
He's like jet black. There's also pictures of Howard Stern dressing in blackface. And then, like, over the last year or something, he's been all on the Biden train. Like, Trump's an asshole, he's racist. Like, you fucking made a career of racial jokes and everything. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And ragging on disabilities.
All sorts of things. Trans, gay, lesbian, like, he's the last person to say anything. And then suddenly he's got this moral compass, like, Biden's so much better because Orange Man bad. What?
I like...
Again, going back in the 2000s, we were listening to Howard Stern show. Like,
I remember.
What happened to you?
Every time I hear you say Orange Man bad, I think of you haven't watched Paradise PD, but in the third season they rag on Ron.
I think this is the third time he's brought up that cartoon.
They rag on Ron Perlman. being a caveman.
Right.
And Ron Perlman not think joke funny. Ron Perlman don't know what did to deserve backlash. Jokes upset Ron Perlman. Roar! That's all I think of. Orange man bad. Roar!
That's the mentality to allow.
I think of Harry and the Hendersons. Harry.
Hey, Kevin Peter Jackson's awesome.
The animatronic eyebrows.
That was fantastic animatronics.
That was actually good. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I love that movie, Harry and the Hendersons. That's what we need. Bigfoot in office.
I would.
The hell with the Republicans, Democrats, conservative, libertarian.
Would he fall under the Green Party though?
Yeah, absolutely.
I finally decided to come out of hiding to show this country what it needs to be.
What if he's terrifying? Like, what if he just eats like? Oh my God, Mr. President, you can't do.
He's sitting in the
Somebody get the meat.
He's sitting in the fucking Oval Office and everybody's talking. Mr. President, you need to do something. Arr! Anybody else think I need to do something? No, you're good.
Yeah, he'd be part of the Green Party for sure.
Critters.
And we'd need it.
That's what we would need as president.
We need a president who supported the Green Party as strong as Sasquatch would. Because
No, we need critters. As when they fall into the huge ball.
we
We need that ball to be
that's
president.
aliens.
No.
Illegal ones at that.
Critters, remember?
Yeah, they're aliens. They were hunted down by bounty hunters. Shape-shifting bounty hunters.
Don't you mean ice?
ISIS? No, they're terrorists.
No, ice.
The critters are terrorists. Illegals that come in.
Immigration, something. What does ICE stand for? The government agency, ICE.
I can't remember.
Immigration Customs Enforcement Officer or something like that.
ISO?
Wow.
ICO?
What does ICE? Immigrations and Customs Enforcement.
Okay.
It is ICE.
That sounds like a comic book, like whatever.
But it's a legit organization. And it's a real quick, funny thing too, because I've actually seen a little bit about them in the news lately. Not
ICE?
yeah, not majorly, but like
This is
them getting a lot of backlash. Because it was during the formula thing. They were making sure all these immigrants and the facilities were still getting formula for their children. There was ICE agents detaining and deporting. And they were like getting just like media bashed hard for it. These people are trying to seek asylum. They're trying to come to America because their food's bad. Da, 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 da. That's literally at one point. I remember reading an article where it wasn't even an ICE official. It was I forgot who the fuck the political what is the name for a person who's big on politics and kind of gives their input? Advisor, not an advisor. Political figurehead?
Analyst?
Analyst, yes. It was like a political analyst. This person went on record to say, look, you are welcome to come to America the right way. We will not turn you away. And he even makes a remark, like he kind of does a little sarcastic. He goes, with everything going on right now, there is easy enough ways to get in legally. We're not going to stop you.
Yeah. Have you ever taken the citizenship test?
No.
I did, out of curiosity. It's not that hard.
When was America founded? 1776?
Yes. I think technically the answer is what, 1783?
No, whatever it was.
But 1776, yes.
1912. That's the Spanish Armada. No, it's not.
You're the Spanish Armada.
When was the Spanish Armada?
I don't know. I'm not Spanish. You're supposed to know this. You are.
How do you not know when the Spanish Armada was? That is correct. Sorry.
Why do you beat my table? You're going to break it one day.
My bad. Oh, 1588. I was way off.
That isn't correct.
That is incorrect.
That is correct.
1812. No, don't put it back on. Give it up for the love of God. Put your shirt on. Spanish Armada, 1588.
That is correct.
The whole finger.
God rest his soul. Miss Chris Farley.
Yes, sir. And then one of my other favorite characters in that movie. You want to stay home and help me shave my armpits? I can always take my shirt off for you. Ew, gross.
I didn't even know how to segue that one. I had a good segue with the whole Green Party, but then we had to go off on side note.
What are you talking about?
I was going to bring up the whole diesel shortage, but now there's a gas, straight up gas shortage out of the West Coast, I guess. I was talking to my uncle today.
How? They're all electric.
Not yet. 2025 or 7 or
Actually,
the hell.
Uncle Scoos, yeah. I didn't want to drop a name. Sorry.
Well, you could say Scooter. He got his name, a nickname from a baseball player. So.
All right, cool. I just didn't. Your Uncle Scooter needs to worry about transporting in and out of California if he ever does now.
No, he doesn't. He mostly goes to like Iowa. He doesn't really go out west. He knows people that
California has now. So owner operators. He's not an owner operator. No. Okay, so never mind. He is safe. Owner operators out in California, there's kind of like an app program that brokers loads. Now, what that means is, actually, you're leatherworking. Someone comes to you and commissions you to make a belt. They're basically brokering you for a deal.
Right, but what
work in owner operator terms? Basically, you go through an agency. Hey, I want to load. These are my parameters.
Oh yeah.
Okay, got one for you. Here you go. That's a thing of the past now.
Really?
Yep, California is.
So Cali's not doing that.
Nope.
That's like one of the biggest fucking ports we have. I guess one of the worst too.
And there's even talks now where if they shut that down, because New York and I think a couple more East Coast states.
Philly? I know Philly's one of the bigger ports in the United States.
Maryland.
It's like third or something like that.
Maryland has a big port.
Right.
New York has a big port. Actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. I think those are the three on the East Coast that they're they kind of
clearly there's more, but
they always mirror each other.
Right.
If California does it, which they are putting it through, they're trying to push it through. Basically you're going to shut off.
So they're cutting off owner operators?
Yes.
Why?
The specifics I wasn't able to find to be able to read into.
Hold the fuck on.
Hold on. But the reason I bring this up is because if that happens, you are losing a lot of those truckers, a majority of the driving force in ports like that are owner operators.
So we have a problem getting product to the store, dating back all the way to fucking October.
Yep.
And now with a gas shortage, diesel and death that we were talking about before, and what I was just going to say is the gas shortage, where there's gas stations that literally have just pumps covered. Sorry, nothing here. Diesel and just regular gasoline. So now on top of all that, they're saying, well, you owner-operators, you independent, basically, truckers, we're not letting you ship product.
We're not letting you transport through our state.
Why the fuck?
But here's where
we have a problem with prices and supplies. Fuck you.
How do we make it worse? Here, hold my.
What we were talking about doom ecology last week?
So,
it's almost like they want to just nosedive this fucking plane.
It's funny that you say that, because the reason I couldn't find too many specifics on it was because this article, like, it literally led into the whole truckers of America, like, uniting, and how there's talks about a standstill. A lot of the driving force.
The drivers are going to do that?
They're talking about shutting down for 2 weeks.
Good. I was just talking with him today about that.
There are a lot of like,
because we were talking, because he was actually saying there's one thing Canada does. We're talking about the truck convoys. Like if they don't get their way, they just say fuck it, and they just come to a standstill.
They park.
And America notoriously doesn't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Again, you're saying they're talking about it.
There's a lot of the driving force that are commenting about this would be good reason to stop the trucks for a week or two and see what happens. And if that happens,
then I'm not a prepper anymore. I'm like a crazy prepper. Like for weeks, like I told you, I've been going out and like every time I go to the store, I pick up an extra few things just to have on supply.
we have been for a while now.
And like if you do that, the first thing I think of, even when you say, well, yeah, I'm picking up cans just in case shit hits the fan, is Y2K, when everyone is fucking gearing up for that.
Oh,
and that ended up being absolutely nothing.
You know how much porn I downloaded, afraid of the computers weren't going to work anymore?
I need a new keyboard.
This was all sticky. No, wait. That's blood. I've been downloading too much.
Oh, it's a good thing I have other fingers. I need a new kind of keyboard. Flip it over. There we go.
God, lesbians would win that keyboard war.
Y2K was great.
Sorry, ladies.
Yeah, so
Well, that's
I've
why
been picking up, and I got another quarter cow coming probably in a month. I'm thinking. I think it's about a month. So, and that's only cost $350 for a quarter cow, which is a freezer. Like what? It's
good chunk of meat.
30, maybe 28 or 30-inch freezer by 18.
A medium
or
size,
20
a small
or
and
something.
medium-sized chest freezer. Yeah.
About a medium, and it's deep though. It's probably about 3.5 feet deep.
Yeah.
And a quarter cow will probably 2 to 3/4 fill it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot of meat. But just doing shit like that. And then, you know, she's got the whole basically like garden full of shit just growing out there. And then just picking up side stuff here and there. Now MREs, I'm not going crazy yet. I'm not Bert from Tremors. Though the thought has crossed my mind, $850 you can get a 6-month supply. I'm like, yeah. I'm like,
we got to do that one of these episodes. You know what we should do?
Walmart, they have them.
We should get a few from a few different places, like Amazon, eBay, Walmart, Target.
I don't know about eBay, but
I'm just saying.
This one's partially used.
I'll do it. I'll eat the eBay one if that's the case. All right, that's what we'll do. Well, you get the Amazon one. I'll get the eBay one. You get the Walmart one. I'll get the Target one. We'll get a few different stores each. We'll sit down one of these podcasts, and we'll try some MREs.
Okay.
Mine tastes like burnt ass. Oh, Charlie, that's my toilet paper.
It's delicious. I didn't say I didn't want it.
It tastes like powdered sugar.
It's delicious. But yeah, so because all these shortages and everything, and now like he was saying that they actually have straight up short. I mean, we were talking about, well, it could be coming the end of summer. Well, it's just what summer. The first day of summer was
3 days
yesterday.
Ago.
Yeah,
21st.
3 days ago, and here we are. It's like, wow, that was a little quicker than I thought. Oh. But like going again with fertilizer, because diesel's needed for fertilizer. They're talking 40-some% or 40%, 38% shortage in crop coming this next fall for the harvest season, which is detrimental. And fucking speaking of fertilizer in Russia, I just forgot. I just put this down because we're just going on a whim and we're covering pretty much everything anyway. This is from Bloomberg. You open up the link. U.S. quietly urges Russia fertilizer deals to unlock grain trade. Because, again, the U.S. knows the path we're going down, like I put on Facebook, whatever it was last week, it's like we're kind of fucked right now if we keep going down this path with supplies and more specifically with diesel shortages, because that directly links to fertilizer and agriculture. It says U.S. government is quietly encouraging agricultural and shipping companies to buy and carry more Russian fertilizer, according to people familiar with the efforts, as sanctions fears have led to a sharp drop in supplies, fueling spiraling global food costs. The effort is part of a complex and difficult negotiations underway involving the United Nations to boost deliveries of fertilizer, grain, and other farm products from Russia and Ukraine that have been disrupted by President Vladimir Putin's invasion of his southern neighbor. U.S. and European officials have accused the Kremlin of using food as a weapon, preventing Ukraine from exporting. Russia denies that even as it has attacked key ports, blaming the shipping distributions on sanctions imposed by the U.S. and its allies of other invasions. Basically, Russia's saying, listen, it's bad if we say, all right, you're going to sanction me, not giving me, like, not being able to use the U.S. dollar and stop and trade with us. Well, then, fuck it. You're not getting our oil. You're not getting our diesel. You're not getting, fertilizer. Mm-hmm. And then we're actually, why are you taking shit away from us? Don't do that. That's mean. Like, the fuck do you think he's gonna do? Like, we're doing the same thing to Russia. So it's
you
like,
stuck a finger in my butt. That means I have to stick a finger in yours. No, it don't. No, it don't.
That's not fair. That's basically what just happened there. That whole exchange is, we're taking this away from you. Fine, I'm taking this away from you. Why are you doing that? That's mean. The fuck do you think Russia's gonna do? Whether they're right or wrong, in this aspect, in this game we're playing here, what the fuck do you think they're going to do?
But once again, all the Democratic Party has to do, Biden himself, well, Trump was very friendly with, Orange Bad Man was friends with Kremlin. Kremlin, take this away from you.
And that's a bullshit thing, too.
How much you want to bet?
The whole Russia...
Trump thing?
Yeah, the Trump-Russia collusion thing. And then more and more it's still coming out with Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yep.
And how they were directly involved with Ukraine business deal, where Hunter was on a board of one of these Ukraine oil companies. And Biden, Joe, and Hunter were sharing a bank account, sharing phone numbers, so he could easily be tied in with these deals as he's running for president. And then all this comes out during primaries, before even elections, and everyone said, well, that's just Russian disinformation, and pointed their fingers all at Trump. Well, he's colluding with Russian sources to influence the election so he can get in, and he's maybe even a Russian asset and actually in collusion with Russia directly. And then what happens? And then they also said, well, Russia, Trump's a racist. Mind you, Joe Biden was a really good friend with a recruiter for the KKK. And we've talked about that before.
Back in the 80s, he led a smear campaign against the crime rate being directly a result of the black community.
Right.
If I remember correctly, there's a few speeches out there. You can find them.
There probably is.
Of him leading a smear campaign against the black community because they're the cause of the crime.
Right.
But what I was going to say before was, but that's just it. How much you want to bet. Even take the Trump aspect away from it. How much you want to bet Biden is going to sit there, Joe, Brandon, he's going to sit there and be like, as president, I've done everything I could. And
why is it when we talk like a
president?
Because of Clinton. Yeah, it is because of
always because of Clinton.
And now everyone. Anyway, go ahead.
So, as this president, now, he's going to sit there as president. I've done everything I could. Things that could have been so much worse, but I did all this for you guys. Despite the big bad men in Russia doing all this stuff causing us, we persevered as a nation because we did as I saw best, and we persevered, and that's why we've made it through these last 4 years. Is stronger, better, more resilient, despite the bad stuff that Russia did. And anybody and everybody that sits there and goes, "I'm a sheeple," they're going to sit there and be like, he's right. He's right. I feel stronger.
Old man good. Orange man bad.
Ron Perlman still not get joke.
Yeah, so I'm sure they wouldn't, Biden and everyone doesn't really want to put that out there in the open. And like, well, we're at war with Russia, but you know, at the same time, kind of like off to the side, we're like, hey, I know we're not supposed to like you right now, and we're really not supposed to be talking. It's like an ex getting a hold of. Yeah, I know you don't want to talk to me right now, but could you give me a little more of that grain?
I'll suck your dick.
No means no. I got another one. The Israeli government falls. They had like 5 elections in the last 2 years or something like that, or for president. And I guess now the Israeli government actually fell. I'm actually double check that. Which this is outside the United States, but the fact that it's just again an example of our problems aren't that unique. Yeah. As far as like just falling apart from infrastructure, seems there's other countries that are a few steps ahead of us. Like, well, we got a president that's lost, that has pieces of paper that you see that there's a piece of paper. There's Biden had this sheet during one of his interviews or whatever, and a photographer took a picture of it, and on it says, you walk out and sit down here, then you ask this press secretary, whoever the fuck, this question, then you get up and address this person, then you walk out after. Like, he's got to be told what exactly to do. Now, maybe that's not unique, and all presidents do that. I kind of find it hard to believe that the leader of the nation needs to be told, all right, walk out and sit down in your seat. That's like something you tell a fucking first grader during moving up ceremony. like
Did you see the Vine of Donald Trump playing golf at a golf course?
That is another one. I'm glad you brought that up because I would have forgot about it.
And then he's riding the bike. I was like,
Joe falls off his bike. Now, the first time I saw it, I cracked up because it looks so robotic. Like, he's going over there, and he's riding his bike over, and he stops, and then it just looks like he just falls.
Yeah, like he doesn't even try.
He just falls over. Like he forgot to stand
stroked
up.
off for a minute there, did you, Joe?
Sorry, Joe. On like after I watched
not sorry.
After I watched it a couple times, I like his foot got stuck. They had the little cups there, and his foot got stuck in that. But just the way he falls over, how could you not laugh? Like, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, doesn't fucking matter. If you just look at it, you're like, oh, come on, that's fucking hilarious. He just and the whole time he's got a shit-eating grin on his face, like he has no fucking idea what's going on. Like, and this just tips over.
My Adderall's kicking in. I'm feeling better.
Fucking weeble wobble. Yeah. What was he hopped up on there? Yeah, Israel. Yeah.
Cocaine. Yeah, I hear that's great for the sinuses.
No, this is from the New York Times. It says Israel's government collapses, setting up 5th election in 3 years. The government, Joe, chewing and shoving under the pressure.
I had hairy legs, and the kids like to rub them.
What a fucking weirdo! I feel like this just turned into let's just roast Joe. But
Donald Trump had a Comedy Central roast of
grab by the pussy. That was Trump's.
Let's have a Comedy Central roast of Joe Biden.
It would be too easy. I mean, literally, this last 2 years has been a roast of Joe Biden. And the thing is he writes at least a half of the material. Just things he does.
What is it really says. Him or is it Kamala?
I don't know.
I got you guys.
I think she's
the Greg Giraldo.
Joe Biden is a Terminator android that is defunct from the warehouse, and he comes out.
He's got a Trojan virus.
There's a line of them marching, and then there's one like retarded one that just kind of goes off to the side. You can't say that. Stop saying that.
All I can think of is the Clone Wars. when the C-3PO's head gets, I'm not in control of my body.
My actions aren't my own. Well, that's Biden.
Joe-3PO.
Joe-3PO. That's golden.
Let's go. We gotta trend that.
That's golden. I can't even read this now. Joe-3PO.
Oh, fucking Christ. It's a good thing we don't do a live show. We'd be getting swatted.
Oh, boy.
Those motherfuckers.
Joe-3PO. That's... I need to make a shirt.
Yeah, I want a shirt.
Joe-3PO. I applaud. Hoy vey.
Oh shit.
There's been a lot of talk of Texas seceding.
Oh, that's been going on for the last 10 years.
If not longer.
Yeah.
I don't really think it will happen.
No.
I don't even think they can. Financially, like on paper, they'd be able to. Because I know Texas is... The amount of money they give to the federal government is less... It's more than what they get back from the federal government.
Yeah.
It's a donor state. I think that's what it's called. It's a donor state. So, like, say, what is it? It's 6% more or something like that. So they give, like, for every dollar they give the government, they get 94 cents back, which would give them plenty of money to sustain themselves. But they have how many ports, right? The connection to the Gulf, so they could trade with the world. And they're definitely big enough. They have plenty of, they have their own oil.
They don't have enough people. I mean, in New York City alone, there's people.
8 million now?
More people in New York City than there is in the bottom 10 states combined.
Really?
Yeah.
Texas now?
No, not Texas. Hold on.
I just want to see. I think Texas is like one of the bigger. I think it's like 23 million or something like that. Let's see. 2022. 30 million.
Oh, hold on, I looked wrong.
So there's 30 million people in Texas.
All right, here you go. So check this out. Do your math really quick. All right, get your calculator going.
All right.
Calculator.
Oh, I was going to do it in my head.
Oh, that's fine. Wyoming. All right, let me know when you're ready.
Go ahead.
576,851.
All right.
You missed it. 851. Plus.
All right, here we go.
643,077. Plus 689,545. Plus 733,391. Plus 779,094. 886.
All right.
667.
Oh, that's a plus. 886.
Yeah, 886, 667. Plus 989, 948. Plus
Jeez Louise.
1084, 225. Plus 1097, 379. Plus 1362, 359. Equals
8,842,536.
Find New York.
We have like 23 or 25 million, I think.
There's 20 million in New York State alone. Now,
Right.
how many people live in NYC?
Like 8 million something.
8.38 million.
So there's more people. Yeah, because there was like a 3 million person exodus, remember?
There's 500,000 people less.
This for the States?
Yeah, 8.38 million people live in New York City.
Right.
8.84 million people live in the bottom combined.
I mean, before the pandemic and everything, there was like 11 million people.
Oh, yeah.
So there would have been more. Yeah.
Still, New York City alone has as many people living in it as the bottom 10 states.
How depressing is that for those people? You know the thing.
New York City or the bottom 10 states?
City. You know how like the big saying right now, I guess, is touch grass.
Yeah.
Like for fucking people, which is funny to me because everyone that says that, it's always on the internet. There's people inside or something. Like, why don't you touch grass? Like, you're fucking on your phone. Like, why don't you put the thing down?
Yeah.
Anyway. But the people down in New York City are just, it's like a fucking rat-topia down there. And I don't mean the rats. I mean the people as the rats. And I'm not even talking about calling them rats as like an insult.
No,
it's
like a colony.
Small thing. It's a fucking small island.
It's a cell
with 8 million people on it.
It's a cell. Well,
yeah, everyone's in the cubicle. A cubicle apartment.
A colony of rats, if I'm correct, don't quote me. I think it's also called a cell.
Maybe they're locked in a cell.
And you could literally have like 1,000 rats. Like right now in your basement in New York City with that basement, you could probably have over 1,000 rats living right there in that basement.
Sure.
So
they're right on top of each other and everything. So,
and in that instance, it's the same concept.
So you have all those people in the small. How it's like 23 or 25 miles. Yeah. The island, like it's tiny for 8 million people.
You stack them
living on top of each other, but this is not healthy.
No,
like not healthy at all.
No.
Statistically speaking, you mentally you're just healthier if you quote unquote touch grass. And you go out and you see horizon, you see trees and see whatever. Like you're just better off.
Yep. Oh, shit. Excuse me.
I don't even remember what the point of that whole fucking conversation was.
I don't even remember either.
Oh, Texas seceding. That's right.
Yeah.
So
they've got the numbers.
They have, yeah, they would be able to, but the fact is, I just don't think
but like I said, Texas, every time this country has found itself literally nose deep in the asshole of the planet, like we are buried in shit, kind of metaphorically speaking.
Interesting.
Texas always comes up the topic for seceding.
And
hey, if anything, it would put us back to 50 states. Because Washington, D.C. is its own thing now. If you look at any list, it says there are 51 states, and it lists D.C., Washington, D.C. as its own entity.
I heard that, but I didn't think... That's right. They just did that recently, didn't they? Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep.
I completely forgot about that.
Bullshit. I don't agree with it.
Yeah, but I mean the electoral votes. Well, D.C., they can't have their own electoral votes, can they?
I don't know.
Just because that is the capital.
It's our nation's capital.
I'd have to look that up. On a last and side note, from all this Biden roasting, they're turning the Large Hadron Collider back on.
Really?
Yeah, that's been off since 2012, I think. Because that's when they found the Higgs boson particle.
Yeah.
Well, you know what happened when they found it? There was a shockwave that reverberated backwards through it and like torched the machine. Not completely, but enough to where it's like, well, we can't. Well, I guess they're going to turn it back on. Here's where the fun conspiracies come in. A lot of conspiracy theorists think that when they found the Higgs boson particle, that shockwave, because with that particle, that's when they started theorizing, or that's when it brought reality to the string theory that time travel might or might not be possible. The Higgs boson particle came about and be like, time travel is possible. Nowhere near our capability.
Yeah.
Well, what the theory is that shockwave that went through it was actually a shockwave that when it collided, it was a shockwave from the future that went through the machine and destroyed it, possibly stopping us destroying ourselves from the future. But then there's also another theory. When, like,
Terminator.
Yeah. Oh, God. And this is just really not so much conspiracy theory, but this is more observation. That was like 2011, 2012. Ever since then, it seems like the world has just really gone fucking sideways. So maybe when they found this Higgs boson particle, it really did alter us into an alternative time path, a universe.
Yeah, we were going down one, and it kind
of. And then also, a lot of people say that's really when the Mandela effect really kicked in, is right at that same time.
Where you think you've always seen it one way and it comes out another.
The theory with the Mandela effect is what that is
Berenstain.
Yeah, two universes actually crossing and different things switching.
And we're on the wrong side of our universe now.
But the thing is you'll get some people that remember it one way and other people that remember it another. Yeah. So maybe I'm not even me from this universe. Maybe you're you from another universe that I'm talking to.
Maybe you're you from this universe and I'm me from the other universe.
What if I'm you in the other universe? Does that mean you're talking to a mirror?
Do you want to cry on my shoulder now or after you face that fact?
That's sad.
Maybe I'm you.
Wait.
I don't know about that. I don't want to be you in the other universe. I remember the fucking naked game you played with Larry. I don't want to do that.
Hey, it's only... Listen.
Quick, turn off the camera.
College.